Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Chats with Chaudhry. I hope you're safe and well, and I hope the sun is shining where you are, because it's certainly shining where I am today. So today I'm delighted to be joined by Milla Neffling, who is from Thermo Fisher Scientific. And today we are going to be talking about lab ideas for medicine makers and looking at some of the challenges that people who develop drugs and medicines face. And also, Lab Ideas for Medicine Makers is actually the name of a new information hub that Thermo have just launched, hence the connection. So anyway, Milla, lovely to see you. How are you?
I'm very good indeed. Thank you, Rizwan. So I've seen quite a few of these chats. You are very, very productive. And I've been a little bit envious because, I've seen so many great chats and now I'm here myself. So thank you for the invite.
Well, it's lovely to see you. And where are you calling in from today?
I am located in Canada, in Ontario, and more closely there in Richmond Hill.
Fantastic. And hopefully it's sunny where you are in Ontario today.
It is, so it's difficult to block the light from shining all over my face. So you can actually see me. The sun is out and it's blasting through. Absolutely. It's very sunny here.
Fantastic. And you don't sound like you're Canadian, but we're not going to reveal where you're from, actually. We can do a little competition, ask people to try and guess where your accent originates from. So we'll do that anyway a bit later. Right. So let's talk. Well, actually, before we talk about some of the challenges medicine makers make, perhaps you could tell people a little bit about yourself. And also, for those people who've never heard of Thermo Fisher, I think most people have who are watching this, but just in case they haven't, a very short, brief background on Thermo as well.
All right. So I will leave now all the locations out, right? Because you want to make it into a challenge, right? So I did my PhD in analytical biochemistry using liquid chromatography, mass spectrometry, the best technique there is, right? I then went to work for the industry for a bit, and then life took me to the dark side, as in the instrument vendors. So I'm still here on the dark side, currently at Thermo Fisher Scientific, as you mentioned, and the division that I'm at is the chromatography and mass spectrometry side of the analytical instrumentation business. So one thing that has remained constant for me is the love for LCMS and all the vast number of things that it enables. But when it comes to Thermo Fisher Scientific, definitely we enable people doing LCMS. We enable people doing a lot of other analytical things like Hplc, GC, IC, you name it, all the spectroscopy stuff we have. But this is just a small part. Thermo Fisher Scientific is, of course, known for the testing for COVID and all sorts of wonderful, weird and wonderful stuff on around, advancing science all around. So a lot of stuff from Thermo Fisher Scientific. I speak for the chromatography and mass spectrometry side of things from my point of view. I'm currently just a short minute. So a regional marketing manager currently in the Americas for this chromatography and mass spectrometry side. So that's my role currently.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's talk about the hub very briefly. First of all, why have Thermo launched this new hub?
So as mentioned, from the analytical instrument side, Thermo Fisher Scientific, we carry a very comprehensive portfolio of solutions to pharma analytical laboratories. And this hub is our way to connect our customers from different sides of the lab to talk about these topics that are collectively interesting to all. And I get to learn a lot. So, this is for us to learn, for our customers to learn. It's like the common good.
Excellent. So what are some of the common challenges that medicine makers face?
Well, my goodness, there are so many, and many of them evolve around changes. So anything that is changing would cause challenges just because pharma analytical labs are strictly controlled to be proven in producing safe and efficient drugs. So anything that changes, you need to prove yourself again. It's strictly controlled. So hence the pressure and the load on the people in the lab and around it, of course, when any changes happen. So of course, there are plenty of cases where changes are necessary for numerous reasons. And what we are talking about in this hub is how people have managed these changes of different types, and what they would like to share with their fellow medicine makers on these topics. So some to mention: managing change in a large scale, impurity analysis, and of course compliance and data integrity.
Right. Okay. So let's look at managing change in a bit more depth then. So what are the things then that people can learn about managing change if they visit the hub?
What they can learn from the experts themselves that managed a very large scale change. So we have some roundtable discussions, presentations present in the hub to learn about a case where implementing a new full suite of chromatography systems in a regulated lab. So this is really important. It's already regulated. The full suite of chromatography systems were replaced. And this was under an existing chromatography data system as well. And now you might think that, okay, that cannot be fun. And I believe it wasn't all fun. But the CDMO, Patheon, where we have our experts to tell about their experiences, they are now part of Thermo Fisher Scientific. They certainly are happy with the outcome, and the discussions that we have, it comes down a lot to change management and collaboration between the different functions throughout the laboratory, the IT experts, as well as the vendor support, of course, to make this change happen. And then we want everything to be installed, qualified, and finally validated. Part of that is method transfer. So this is about full suite of chromatography systems in a validated, regulated environment. So it's a major undertaking. Method transfer is a major undertaking for them. And we have one of the sessions, our roundtable discussions, is about this method transfer part. And then, of course, the chromatography data system implementation, where we then highlight the aspects from the experts from Patheon, the CDMO side, as well as then from our analytical instrument side, how we work together to make the best case out of this big change. And yeah, now people are happy.
Okay. Now, impurity analysis is another big area, obviously, that people have lots of challenges. So what can they find, or what can they learn about impurity analysis by checking out the hub?
All right. So impurity analysis is indeed the ever-changing landscape of regulations. There's new modalities, there's new regulations, and there's new compounds, there's new processes and new products. And so on the hub, you can find a roundtable discussion with experts from Novartis Pharma, Adrian Clark and Julian Pator, and their examples and how they are leading the way in this ever-changing landscape. We take up, of course, a lot of examples for nitrosamines. That is on everyone's mind, right? So I'm sure you've had quite a few chats on nitrosamines.
Yeah.
Yep. So we have collected hopefully impactful resources to support the nitrosamines impurity analysis. And impurity analysis is one of those aspects where there's a lot of different analytical techniques to be considered to make sure that the labs are future-proofed. So as an instrument vendor, we then, of course, want to highlight the capabilities of Hplc with charged aerosol detector, for example, which is also another hot topic. With UV, of course, with Hplc as usual, LCMS, GC, GCMS, IC, ICMS, spectroscopy, DEA, so trace elemental analysis, all goes back to making sure that the products are safe for the patients, and due diligence to the nth degree on impurity analysis. That's resources for those.
Right. Okay. And last but not least is obviously compliance. I mean, you mentioned compliance, and obviously in terms of the industry that we work in, regulatory compliance is huge. So what do you cover in compliance, I should say, on the hub?
Yeah, compliance and data integrity are indeed that's an evergreen topic. It's always current, and doing this bit of the hub. So this is quite the eye opener for my part, because there's so much to consider. How many people come together to ensure patient safety on this side of things? And so we have a lovely presentation by Gail Love from Love CQA on to hear what matters from her side of the story. So she's an auditor. Then we have yet another roundtable. We want to bring these roundtable discussions from our experts, right? So we have another roundtable discussion from compliant and data integrity experts in the lab. So we have Charla Wood from Bristol Myers Squibb, and then we have Brian Alliston from Sterling Pharma Solutions. And beyond this, we also looked into what the Pharma 4.0 scenario changes in the lab information management. And I just saw that you had a discussion with another person from
Yeah, Cindy
BMS.
Novak.
Yeah. And so she had brought up this what changed in things going electronic. And one of the things that we also bring up is the experts in the lab discussing how electronic signatures are just so much easier when working remote. And when you need to consider signing a piece of paper or 500 pieces of paper, it's a different thing altogether. So these kind of resources are there for people to tap into. And then another, because we are again an instrument vendor, there are a lot of aspects about qualifications which are strictly related to compliance, of course. And we have some short 2-minute videos on some FAQs that our experts have received from the medicine makers on this topic. So plenty to tap into on this evergreen topic as well.
Brilliant. And I should just add about the electronic signatures. The other thing is obviously that you've got an audit trail in terms of the whole process, in terms of who's done what when. So it does make a massive difference. See, I do listen to everyone I interview as well. So the other thing I was going to say though is that obviously those are sort of very cool topics you just mentioned. So, but what if someone is watching or visiting and can actually, the challenges I face are not here. Can they come to you and say, hey, can you cover this area for us, because we've got these are our challenges. Yeah, we compliance is great, impurities, that's obviously very important, managing change is all very, very important, but actually I've got a problem in this area. Well, are they able to submit those sort of challenges to you so that you can obviously help them address them, so that other people can see what your thoughts, and that you get other experts involved to see how they can meet these challenges?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a hub, lab ideas for medicine makers from medicine makers. So we would very much appreciate anyone who has these kind of either challenges or maybe solutions that they feel that, hey, I learned something here and I would really like to bring it across. Absolutely, we would very much welcome those ideas. So yeah.
Okay,
open to suggestions and contributions.
All right, so that leads us nicely to my final question, which is, what's the URL for Lab Ideas for Medicine Maker, and how can they get involved?
So we will provide the link on here. I won't read it out loud. That wouldn't necessarily be. We have a shorter version of it as well, but we'll provide that. And there's a couple of subsections. So I'll provide a URL also for the CAT, so the charged aerosol detector bit, which is also of interest to many. Also, people who have listened to your previous chats. So we'll provide
All right, fantastic. Those. Brilliant. Well, as you say, those links will go above the video. So if anybody wants to learn more about the hub, they can do that. If you've got any questions for Milla about the challenges she's talked about, and also about the hub specifically, then you can leave them in the comments below, and I'm sure Milla will be delighted to answer them. And I was sitting here watching you, Milla, doing this interview, and I can see that cute little yellow, it looks like a teddy bear, but I can't tell because my screen's not on full screen at the moment, it's minimized, so I can't tell if it's a teddy bear. But so is there any history behind that?
Well, you wanted to make a challenge of my background, right? So there are a couple of clues related to that little bunny. The bunny has traveled with me from let's say for many years. And my name is Milla. So if you happen to know the bunny, Ninche or Miffy, you might get some clues on, you know, if you know more names for Ninche.
All right. Well, although I've got to say, I would have expected you to have a chameleon lizard next to it, to be honest, because that would have been a bit of branding. So a bit of, a bit of love and a bit more branding above there as well.
Well, I'll leave that to Darren. To be honest, he has them all. I'll leave that to Darren. I'll keep my Miffy there.
All right, fantastic. Well, Milla, it's lovely seeing you. Thank you very much for sharing the information about the hub. There's obviously lots of information that people can get. So I recommend people checking out the URL, which, as I say, is above the video. Check it out. If you've got any questions or you want to have additional areas covered within the hub, as Milla quite rightly said, just send her a message, leave some comments below the video. I'm sure her and the whole team will be delighted to know how else they can help you. So Milla, all that's everyone say is enjoy the rest of the day in Ontario. I hope the sun continues to shine and you have a lovely warm summer. I won't say hot because sometimes it can get too hot and you can't really enjoy it. So warm, yeah, with a nice cool breeze. That's what you really want. So yes. So have a lovely summer and good luck with the new hub. I hope it goes very, very well for you and get lots of people engaging with it as well. So thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Rizwan. Thank you so much for inviting me, and you have a lovely day as well. Thank you.
Right. And thank you everyone for watching. I hope you found that useful. As I said, if you've got if you have challenges like I'm sure you do, impurities and compliance and managing change, then check out the Thermo Hub because it is definitely worthwhile checking out from that point of view. And as I said, if you've got any questions from Milla, please leave them below. And until next time, as always, I hope the sun continues to shine where you are and you have a lovely summer. And until next time, stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.